We extended it to all paraprofessionals in our school division with the help of all the principals, the feedback that they provided, along with Dr. McClung. And so we were able to spotlight our paraprofessionals at Mountain View. Tammy Looney participated in that PD training. So if I could go back one slide. These are the paraprofessionals of the Allegheny Highlands Public Schools. We did ask for them to gather after the PD was over to capture their picture. And so lots of paraprofessionals in our school system that do an amazing job each and every day. So it was great to be able to spend about an hour and 45 minutes with them. And so this was the first time that we had gathered all of the paraprofessionals together. So it was a great opportunity for them to connect. We started by having them introduce themselves to the group and to what locations they work in. And so I think they really valued that time. And then we started off with the actual PD. We reminded them, and we do this often, but we reminded them of the importance that they play in our schools each and every day. They're vital to the instructional team. Their work helps to ensure that every student has access to meaningful learning and appropriate support and to build those positive relationships. And so the learning outcomes of this particular PD was to understand the role that they play in supporting instruction, recognize how effectively they support students and teachers, learn strategies to increase student engagement and independence, to understand the importance of confidentiality and professionalism, and to develop practices that positively impact student achievement. I won't read every slide, and there are several slides, but I do want to highlight some of them. This one is important because we are committed to excellence in the Allegheny Highlands, high student engagement, future ready for the community, and communications focused. So the important role they play is supporting student learning, encouraging our students to be independent, building those relationships, reinforcing classroom expectations, and creating that positive school culture. So we talked about what a professional is and why their job is important to us, and we talked about their importance. We also spent a lot of time talking about expectations, and so arriving on time, being prepared. We talked extensively about confidentiality, demonstrating professionalism with students and families, following teacher and administrator directions, communicating respectively and positively, maintaining a growth mindset, and taking that mandated reporting seriously because they are employees of our school system. The examples of their duties is long, but they do have an extensive list. We had early childhood paraprofessionals in the room, so those are the ones that work with 3 and 4-year-olds, all the way up to seniors, and so it was well represented. All of them were grade level representation. We also spent a good bit of time talking about practices to avoid. We talked about do not access, the importance of not accessing social media while at work, not sitting alone in the back of the room while the teacher was up teaching, monitoring students. We don't want them to share confidential information, leaving confidential papers out on desk is not appropriate, sitting idle, not to sit idle, and so the list goes on, but we did spend time talking about those things. Important reminders, the goal is to help students become independent learners, building those positive relationships and how students learn best when they feel safe, valued, respected, encouraged, and connected. And then there was about 7 different scenarios. So each group, we were in the multi-purpose room at Mountain View, and they were spread out in the entire room. I think that room holds about 100 people. And so there were tables and chairs, and each of them were in groups. And so we worked our way through the 7 scenarios. So they were able to talk about it amongst the group. And then we had share outs. And so that was very engaging as to the scenarios. So I won't read them all, but let's do a couple. You have a scheduled time when you're supposed to be working one-on-one with a student. That student is absent. What do you do? There were some great ideas, things that Ms. Mooney and I hadn't thought about, so they were very engaged and gave great feedback. You have a small group to pull out. Your schedule says social skills. You're unsure of what to do during that time. We talked about that scenario as well. And then there were several others. And we spent time, that's why it took about an hour, 45 minutes, because we did spend time talking through those real life scenarios. Again, we encourage the classroom expectations of those paraprofessionals. Again, talking about the importance of protecting student records, communication. We talked about the confidentiality piece. Sometimes our parents or grandparents, they will approach us in Walmart or the Dollar General, and we suggested that they have a statement ready because of all the places that is not where you want to have a conversation about students. And so to be able to say, I understand you may have a question, you may want to talk, but please call the school tomorrow so we can talk privately with the teacher. So to have that go-to sentence or a couple of phrases so you're not caught in Walmart or the Dollar General having conversations that are not appropriate for that location. So the paraprofessionals, the commitments that we talked about for the year would be to support that high quality instruction, build positive relationships, encourage student independence, communicate professionally, maintain confidentiality, help create a safe and welcoming learning environment, and to continue learning and growing in that role that they have. And we talked about every interaction matters, every word of encouragement matters, every moment of support matters. Our paraprofessionals, they have a lasting difference, make a lasting difference in the lives of our students. Their dedication, compassion, commitment help create classrooms where students have the opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed, and they are an essential part of our school system. So we left that day, and we wanted them to think about other PD opportunities that they would like to be provided this year. So Dr. McClung and the principals and I will be working on those as well. So this was the first of several that we do wish to provide them, but it was a good day. Good.
Thank you. Any board members have any comments? Thank you. Seeing the people together in the photo up there was great. I had the honor and the privilege to speak at Convocation week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and tried to compare my mother's experience in Chesterfield County with the experience here. And the point I was trying to, I don't know if I did a good job, the point I was trying to get across was the people in the picture. We don't have all the same opportunities that Chesterfield County public schools do, but so we're not equal there, but they're not equal with people compared to the people we have here. And that's, seeing those people in there, some of those people in this picture are life-changing to our family, and I'm sure others in that picture have been life-changing, and people in this room have been life-changing to other families. So thank you for doing that. It was good to see the picture of all the folks up there.
Thank you.
And we have two people new that before we get into the rest of the agenda, I didn't recognize, but Dr. McClung's here in the front row, and I picked on David as being a new old guy at the convocation. Welcome to you all.
Thank you.
Everybody knows David, but I didn't spoke to you in the hall, but I didn't know who I was speaking to.
Well, I'm Jessica McClung. It's very nice to meet you, and it's good to be here.
Next on the agenda, 26-220, Athletics and Activities Recognition. Mr. Dodds.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lanford, members of the board, Ms. Halterman. I am going to go through some names and recognize from our spring athletics, and the reason we're late on these is our all-state voting is typically late, but this year it was even later, since it's one of those years that the cycle is ending and going to start again. So most of the names you hear on this list are off to college and doing good things from Allegheny High School. Still want to be recognized though. So for baseball, I'll start. Baseball, Kyle Rowland was first team all-district, all-region, and all-state as an outfielder. Brady May was first team all-district and second team all-region. Graham Brewster was first team all-district. Jalen Prather was first team all-district pitcher. Softball, Emma Skidmore was first team all-district pitcher. Kaylee Nicely was a first team infielder. Paige Webb was a first team infielder, and Maddie Lowry was a first team outfielder. Emma Skidmore was also a second team all-region pitcher. And in boys tennis, Bubby Ensminger was a first team all-district and all-region player. In track, Des Jordan was first in the 100 hurdles in the district. Beetle Clayton, first in the 4x400. Maddox Wickline was first in the 200, second in the 400, and first in the 4x400. Miles Christian was second in the 200, first in the 400, and first in the 4x400. Sarge Persinger was fourth in the shot put. Evan Bishop was first in the 800, and first in the 4x800, and first in the 4x400. Trevor Jonas, first in the 4x800. Cole Bowser, first in the 4x800. Levi Bartley, first in the 4x800. Tasia Smith was first in the long jump. Jakara Hyder was first in the 100. She was also first in the 100 in the region and fifth in the 100 in the state. Kiera Lohman was first in the 4x800, first in the 4x800 in the regions, and fourth in the 3200 and fourth in the 1600 in the state. Maggie Hensley was first in the 4x800, first in the 4x800 in the region. Brooklyn Connor was first in the 100 hurdles. Aline Heck was fourth in the 4x100 in the regions. And Danny Halsey was first in the 4x400 in the district, and Allie Downs was first in the 4x800 in the district. That was it. Thank you.
While you're up there, good question. I think that's all we had, not related to this. Congratulations on those student athletes and up there off to get started. Appeal of classification.
We do. We have an appeal coming up. Right now, the way the ADM numbers came out, which to give you a little background on that, is they take our spring ADM numbers and they are now using the 9th, 10th, 11th, 9th through 11th grade numbers instead of your whole school numbers. And looking at those numbers compared to everybody else. Currently, we are the lowest school for enrollment in 3A, all of 3A in the state. Derek, do you have that exact number? Was it like 511?
We're 11 from the top two Class 2 schools.
Was it like 511 is what we are or something like
It's a
that?
little higher than that.
It's a little bit higher than that. So we are 11. We're the bottom 3A school, and we're 11 from the bottom. We're 11 from being a 2A school. We have an appeal in based off of that and a couple of other things we've talked about that hopefully we could appeal on, and that comes out in about the next 2 weeks. So right now we're kind of in that waiting period. Everybody's appealed. They've allowed you to reappeal if they didn't hear your appeal, and then we'll go through and we either have to go and talk about our appeal in person, or they'll just let us know if it's cut and dried.
Thank you. Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. Any other questions?
What else?
Yeah, I got one. No matter what happens, we're still going to play in the district we're in now, right?
Yes, sir. We are not going to change districts.
The only thing that will affect us is when playoffs come, we might have to go somewhere else.
Correct. We'll probably move to a different region,
Yeah.
but we would stay in the district we're in currently.
Good.
It's a good spot for us.
It would be 2B, which is up that way, Strasburg, up where Stewart Stratton, and
I just care
45.
about the travel for the kids.
Yeah.
I hate to see them travel all over the state to play a game.
No, much less travel still. It'd be the same trip. Until we get into the state tournament, that type, you don't have much travel. I mean, there's still travel, but it's not as bad as,
And
or
most
we'd
of
have to go to Abington or something.
Most of it's interstate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Item 26-221, consent agenda. The approval of minutes of the July 20, 2026 regular meeting and July 30, 2026 special meeting. Review of the bills. We have consider approval of AHPS cross-country students to Williamsburg, Virginia, October 24th, 2026 through October 25th, 2026. This trip does not include a race, and then consider approval of competitive grant applications and activities. This is an action item. You have all this information in your packet. Is there anything Ms. Holtzman would like to add or questions from board members? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion second.
Second.
Danielle,
She beat it.
motion and a second. Ms. Willis?
Mr. Ayers,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Langford,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan.
Yes.
Mr. Umstead.
Yes.
Mr. Wisham.
Yes, ma'am.
26-222 informational items. First is the, in your packets, cafeteria report. Any questions about that? Anything we need to add there? All good. Item B, capital improvement and operational maintenance updates. Information in your packet. Is there anything that staff would like to add here? I'll go ahead and jump in on this one. I don't know that it's noted in here, but on Monday, August the 10th, we had a meeting here with members of County Board of Supervisors, members, City Council staff, school board staff, Mr. Woodson and I. One of the topics we discussed, Mr. Ropeland, Ms. Altman, this person here, one of the topics we discussed was the roof at Mountain View Elementary School, and I think there was consensus out of that discussion that night to use year-end funds that the school division has returned to both local governments to fund that roof replacement project. And so my understanding is specifications are being developed or will be developed soon to put that project out to bid and get that moving so we can move on to other capital needs.
Can I ask a question on that? When you say Mountain View, are you including the whole building?
Yes.
The academy also?
Yep.
Thank you.
My apologies.
Mr. Chairman, the first roof meeting will be Wednesday.
Great. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Item C, budget report, information in your packet. Anything that we need to say? Good? Any questions board members have? There are a bunch of division operational updates and board development materials. Unless anybody has any questions regarding those or anything that you need to speak to specifically, it looks like you might want to jump in here.
Yep, Mr. Chair, members of the board, just a couple things, I just want to flag them for you because a couple of them are just responsive to different things the board has expressed interest in. So you see some information about some parent resources, some information about the Virginia Literacy Act, just some helpful resources for you all. Would want to point out two things that I just believe are of note. The first being a field trip clarification note. That's basically reemphasizing we've made a change of practice with our team in accordance with Freedom of Information Act. So basically, we have difficulty adding non-emergency items to our school board agenda, so it's really important that all of our instructional team get those field trip requests in early. So we just wanted to make sure everybody was clear on that. And then also your SOL score release timeline is there. They are not due to be released from the last year until early fall, which is just BDOE doing their thing, making sure they got them right. But we do have some information for board members, as is in your email, on the 24th. So we're looking forward to having that conversation.
Any questions, comments, thoughts? Good.
I have a lot, but I'll keep it to myself. Thank you.
Floor can be yours.
No, thanks. Not at this moment. But it will be.
26-223 calendar information. September 7th, the holiday, schools and offices are closed. We have a regular meeting September 21st. September 28th, we have a work session, board development. October 12th is a holiday as well, and all schools and offices will be closed. Instructional reports and recommendations, item 26-224, CTE accomplishments, updates, Mr. Ross.
Thank you, Mr. Pratt.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Mr. Kraft.
Chairman Lanford, Ms. Altman, school board members. Just giving you a quick update on CTE for this past school year. Of the duplicate numbers, we had 1,007 students participating in CTE classes. But like I said, that's duplicate, so some had 2 or 3 classes. Too many to go down the individual list, but I'll just go to the highlight page. 92 of our students earned a career and technical diploma seal, which means they were a completer plus they had at least a 3.0 grade point average. 112 students were CTE completers for the senior class. In a whole lot of various areas. I know Mr. Kraft wants to talk about JRTC, so Mr. Kraft.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Superintendent, members of the board, thank you for entertaining me for a couple minutes this evening to allow me to provide you my annual update for Jackson River Technical Center. I will start out with some stats. Last May, JRTC awarded 50 certificates in all programs to graduates for the class of 2026, and 4 graduates earned double certificates. As of today, JRTC has an anticipated total enrollment of 482 students. Interestingly, that is over a 50% increase from enrollment this time last year. This year we have seen another increase in non-traditional student interest in gender-dominated career paths. As of today, we have 65 non-traditional students enrolled in programs at JRTC, with 36 female students who are currently or will participate in an industrial trade program this year, which is also an increase from last year. A couple more statistical facts. 76% of seniors who took a credential exam in their program area earned that credential. As a note, the Virginia Department of Education is in the process of revising a list of CTE approved credentials, as well as the system in which credential exams are administered. It's fairly complex, but if anybody has an interest on the topic, I'd be happy to have that conversation. Over the past 3 years, trends in absenteeism continue to decline significantly at JRTC. Between 2023 and 2024 and 2025-2026 school year, the total absenteeism for any reason declined by 61%. And between 24-25 and 25-26, unexcused absences decreased by 41%. Those are all great statistics. All right, let's talk about the facility. We have a new playground. We have new playground equipment for preschoolers that would replace the much smaller set that was purchased in 1993. The new set sits on a footprint that we expanded by 225 square feet. And here's a public shout out to the fellows at Hammond and Mitchell Incorporated, who donated close to a week's worth of man hours and equipment to remove some existing concrete to make room for the expanded footprint. It looks great, and we're all excited about that. Safety fencing was installed between Allegheny High School and JRTC buildings in both the front and the rear. This deters access and enhances security to the east side of the building, where the back hallway, egress, and the bay doors to the electricity lab are located. And it also safely contains the preschoolers who use that grassy area for play. And while I'm on the topic of facility upgrades, I'd like to take a minute to mention our HVAC system. A complete replacement of the HVAC system for JRTC is included in the capital improvement plan, but it's in the 5 to 10 year look ahead section. Having been without it for 4 days has been brutal, but survivable. We're an old building with old moving parts, and I have to give a shout out to the maintenance team for showing up every day to figure out what needed to be done, which amounts to having to replace 2 separate compressor motors on the old side that bit the dust likely during the surge, a surge when the power was restored early Tuesday morning of last week. For historical context, our current HVAC operates as a multi-system patchwork consisting of newer add-on components and repairs to the original pneumatic system. The newer system components don't talk to the old components, and repairs to the and replacement parts on the original equipment are becoming more difficult to procure. As a regional center prior to merger in 2022, with separate funding sources, JRTC administrators did a great job of updating the HVAC system as necessary, but with what they could afford, which was never conducive to a complete system replacement. I appreciate this being on the 5 to 10 year outlook, but I am concerned about the continuing costs of repairs to an inefficient, unreliable system. So noted. Moving on. I talked to you all in February extensively about our career and technical student organizations. This year was a record year for the variety of competitions that we had students participate in. We had representatives in Skills USA to compete in the electrical construction, welding, cabinet making, drafting, and building maintenance. In FCCLA competitions, they included culinary arts and baking and pastry. And as usual, we had several nurse aid students completing a variety of healthcare competitions at their convention. We came out with district champions in electrical construction and cabinet making, and a state champion in building maintenance, national qualifiers in the Anatomage tournament and culinary arts, and several top 5 finishers at both district and state levels. We had 2 students compete at the national level. David Osborne finished 6th in the nation at Skills USA Nationals for building maintenance in Atlanta in June, and Marissa Nicely finished with a silver rating in culinary arts at the FCCLA National Convention in DC back in July. Marissa also earned a credential from the American Culinary Federation as a certified fundamentals cook. So we continue to light up the map with our successes in our CTSO competitions and activities. In other news, this was the 2nd year of completion with our CDL partnership with Mountain Gateway. We yielded 2 Allegheny graduates who completed the program with their CDL license this summer, and 1 who is still in progress. And I've already had seniors this year in the first 4 days of school express an interest in the spring opportunity. This is a huge tuition cost savings opportunity and a golden resume addition for our seniors entering the workforce right out of high school. We just kicked off our new 3-year program in drafting with 7 students enrolled in the level 1 course, and that's a great number for year 1. Joe Mays is also serving as an adjunct instructor for Mountain Gateway as they initiate their own post-secondary drafting program. And Joe and I are working on developing a model concept for an evening program for adults seeking an affordable non-credit avenue to enhance their skills in computer-aided design. We're in the very early stages of this development, but if piloted, I hope to recreate the model and expand it to at least electricity and culinary arts. And last year, I wrapped up. When I wrapped up, I generally mentioned that there was a need for additional funding allocations to JRTC in order to keep people in programs in place. But I did not mention at that time any specific areas. But this year, I'm going to mention one specific, and that's the cost of participating in CTSO organizations like Skills USA and FCCLA and HOSA. When I presented to the board back in February about our student organizations, I mentioned that participation in CTSO affiliated events is expensive. But that's how the organizations make their money, but this limits participation to schools and divisions who can cover the associated costs. JRTC students who want to participate in competitive and organizational events have to engage in fundraising activities to cover 100% of their expenses, which includes, and just to name a few things, annual dues, registration fees, competition fees, lodging, meals, and sometimes travel to faraway places. As been the case for the last 3 years, the cost of participation is out of reach, and JRTC will actually make up for the deficit in the fundraising activities so these students can participate. Being conscientious steward of the accounts, I know that this is not sustainable. For perspective, in 2025-2026, total CTSO receipts came to $13,167, but the CTSO disbursements totaled $20,356. That was over $7,000 that had to be supplemented by other in-house accounts, which we made it happen. And this practice has occurred over the last 3 years, so compound that times 3. Mr. Umstead asked me back in February in public session if I'd ever requested CTSO funding from the board. My answer then was no. However, this will be covered in my 2027-2028 budget requests. So for the sake of time and being long-winded, I'm going to say the second area of need, which involves teacher training, for another update, or for individual conversations if you want to come talk to me at JRTC, I'd be happy to do that. So I'm going to wrap up this update now, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have for me. Mr. Umstead. I anticipated your question.
I'm enjoying your voice.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're not asking for help this year?
At the time that you asked me, which was February, our budget request for this year needed to be in October.
Okay, it's not October yet.
It's not, but that'll be for next year.
Why do you ask? Ask the community. The community would probably gladly help you.
I'm sure they would, Mr. Umstead.
So let's ask. I'll ask for you. I don't know whether we'd rather talk to you or me, but I'll ask for you.
Thanks.
I think what you do up there is absolutely wonderful. I'm impressed with your attendance. Kids coming to school more often. You must be giving them something they really want to do and enjoy. What a novel idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
No,
Board members?
no.
Good. Thank you.
All right.
Obviously, yeah,
Thank you.
very impressive stats, and to Mr. Umstead's points, obviously, the kids enjoy the teachers and what they're doing there. So kudos to you all.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to work here. Thank you, Mr. Langford, board members.
That's an information item. Item 26-225, consider approval of project return. Mr. Ross,
Sure.
this is
This is
board
an
action.
Yes, sir. Of course, last month I came before you on behalf of our Ms. Fox and myself to ask us to be able to asking for money for Project Return, which helps our adult education program. Well, our alternative education program.
Board members have any questions? Mr. Ross? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve project return as presented by staff.
So moved.
Motion, second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Ms. Willis?
Mr. Aaron,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Langford,
Ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Umstead,
Yes.
Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And you all are welcome to come play on the playground anytime. It's fantastic.
It looks really good.
Agenda item 26-226, this is an action item as well. Consider approval of school resource officer memorandum of understanding and jail agreement memorandum of understanding. Mr. Fisher and Mr. Rookman are listed as the staff contacts here.
I'm going to be presenting tonight if it pleases the board. Chairman Lanford and members of the board, we just wanted to follow up on this from last month. Our school resource officer memoranda of understanding, which are both with the Sheriff's Department and the City Police Department, they've been reviewed as per protocol every 2 years. They were last reviewed in July 2024. We posted them for public input as well. We did not receive any public input. You all provided a review kindly last month. We do believe these are ready for approval. Our friends in law enforcement have also reviewed them, just to make sure you're aware of that. And those drafts do very closely follow what's called the DCJS model, which is basically a statewide model to make sure those are pretty excellent. There is also a memorandum of understanding with the jail that has to do with certain eligible inmates that may be incarcerated at various times and services that they may need. So it is up for its periodic review as well, and we believe all of these are ready for approval.
Board members have any questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion, we approve. Second.
Motion second, Ms. Willis?
Mr. Aaron,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Langford,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Umstead,
Yes.
Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 26-227, consider approval of the October 2026 regular meeting school date. I think Ms. Halterman has spoke with most board members. There's a need to move from Monday, October the 12th because of conflict with some scheduling that evening, and the proposed date is Tuesday, October 13th, 2026. Board members have any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the change.
So moved.
Motion second.
Second.
Ms. Willis?
Mr. Aaron,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Langford,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Umstead,
Yes.
and Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 26-228, consider approval of regulation GCPF-R and GCPF-R-2. This is an action item. I believe these were presented as information at our last meeting. Board members have any questions, comments, any clarification needed? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion we approve GCPFR and R2. Like it's an accident.
Motion is second. Is that you, Mr. Umstead?
Yes.
Ms. Willis?
Mr. Aaron,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Langford,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Umstead,
Yes.
and Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
The next several items are all informational items, 26-229 through 26-236 are policy updates, section A, B, C, E, G, I, J, and K. Anything substantive in there that needs to be discussed?
Chairman Langford, members of the board, your policy committee's done a nice job going through these, so special thanks to Mr. Woodson and Mr. Aaron for helping with that. These are basically, in large part, changes related to code changes, language clarification, that kind of update. So they're all detailed out for you as needed. I'm happy to take any questions.
Mr. Aaron, Mr. Woodson, as members of the policy committee, have anything you'd like to add?
She left out the capitalization of superintendent, which changed many times.
It was. It was. That's how substantive a couple of the updates were.
Those will all be on our September agenda for action. Unless the board members have any questions. There's no additions to the agenda, is that correct, Ms. Willis? No additions. Public comment, 26-238. We have some folks here that may wish to speak this evening. We had one
We
person
have
officially
one
sign up?
Sign up, yes.
I would ask if anybody else that follows, we have a 3-minute time period. I'll ask everybody to try to hold their comments to under 3 minutes as we go forward and go through this. But we had a chance to talk, so if you want to speak, you're welcome. Mr. Edelson.
and I'll talk as fast as I possibly can. Good evening. My name is Adam Eggleston. I'm here in multiple capacities this evening. I'm here as the father of a disappointed student. I'm here as a representative of the music department and as an advocate for our teachers and our students. I'm also here because many parents and community members come to me looking for help with these issues. While I'm appreciative of the fact that we did get to have a meeting and discuss some of these things the other day, I'm still here because I need to know that the right people are asking the right questions. Obviously, when it comes to scheduling, there are always issues and nothing can be promised, but it is my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that at least this board and the students at CMS were led to believe that they would be on an A-Day, B-Day schedule so that they would have as many opportunities as they possibly could. The students were even asked to pick their top 5 electives, believing that they would get 2 to 3 of those. But what appears to be a surprise to many is they were given 1 elective on their schedules. Consolidation was sold as more opportunities for our students, but now they're being given less. And there's a lot of issues here, but I can only hit the highlights. Rapidly changing schedules leading up to school meant that our new teachers had no idea what classes to even plan for. And while I can say that this part has been resolved, at one point our first-year music teachers were signed up to teach math, English, or even PE as teachers or assistants or something, none of which are they certified in. And it's resolved, but I still have to wonder why that was ever the case. Third, this drastically cut the numbers of students in our programs. The middle school choir program, for instance, went from 106 students last year to 46 this year. At least one of last year's all-state choir students did not get into choir this year. The lead in the spring musical did not get into choir this year. There are classes that are combined with beginning students in the second and third year students, which makes 2 completely separate subjects needing to be taught at once. Bands and choirs should not be treated as exploratories, but as programs, which have taken years to build. Most electives can write this off as a bad year and fix it next year. Our programs will have this load with us for 7 years. The community is quick to express what they desire for our programs to look like, but many do not realize that these are the decisions which cause us problems for nearly a decade at a time. I don't deny the importance of core classes and test scores, but when we take away the things that actually make students want to be in school, the things that give them hope, the things that positively impact their physical, mental, and emotional health, that is actually detrimental to their well-being and drops scores. I'll hurry here. I know that school has already started and we are probably stuck with what we got, but I believe a lot of questions remain to be answered. I watch at the high school as every year we get creative and work as a team to make these things happen, to make sure that the opportunities are there. And I'm wondering why those things are not happening across the board. Whatever the reasons may be. So far, the only solutions I've heard come with a lot of logistical concerns and hopes and dreams to fix it in the future, but our students deserve more than just hopes and dreams. Our words must match our actions. And while I could stand here and give you all the statistics on why these programs are good for our students, I'll simply close by quoting one of my former students. She talked about going on the recruitment trips with us, and when I asked her what she would possibly say to the students, her answer left me speechless. It was, why band? Because I'm still alive. That is my why that we as teachers are constantly told to remember. These decisions and the ways we talk about them matter. Thank you.
Thank you. 3 minutes and 1 second. Anybody else wish to speak under public comment, even though you haven't signed up? Maybe if I could ask Ms. Halterman and staff to work with, because I've received some emails, I think we've shared those as well from others, work with folks and report back to us in October on what we're going to do to resolve this and maybe move forward. And if you could engage with the teachers and the people that are very near and dear to their hearts and see if we can't work out a solution that meets everybody's needs going forward. I'll turn it over to you unless there's anybody else after we finish that up that has one last chance for public comment. Going once, going twice. Okay. Next on the agenda is 26-239, school board member and superintendent comment.
First, thank you for coming out tonight. It's nice to see a crowd here. It's nice to have a lot of different staff and students here and not be even a massive recognition night. So that's lovely. I appreciate Adam coming and talking to us about his concerns. Obviously appreciate that. I'm very happy that staff were able to meet with him with some substance last week. That was a very good thing. Appreciate all that hard work. Do want to give like a team-wide shout out on a really smooth opening of school. I always knock on wood with a little bit with that kind of information, but we've been very, very pleased with the opening of school overall this year, and that does require a ton of teamwork. It requires a ton of teamwork from just everyone, because there's always something that pops up on those first days of school that you did not expect, and that everyone works outside their job description to make things come together for kids. And we really appreciate everybody's help in doing that. And that is everyone. And at the risk of leaving anybody out, I won't try to name all the categories of staff, but it is lovely to see, and you can see it in the buildings. It's really cool even on day 4 of school. A special thanks to Jessica up there in the front row, and to David in the back there somewhere. They have jumped in feet first, helping our central office team. And so we really appreciate their efforts. There is nothing like joining a school team or school culture, and everybody I've ever heard from has always said it's different in every place you go, and it's different from every other industry. And so we just really appreciate their willingness to become so quickly a part of the team. So we're looking forward to the kickoffs to fall sports, all of the things that are driving upwards and helping us keep our school year going. But most importantly, thanks for a very, very smooth opening. We appreciate everybody's help with that. Thank you.
Questions, comments, consulting? Anybody comments one end of the table or the other?
This weekend I saw a post on social media. They had a couple of our high school football players described by a citizen who witnessed it. I guess they were selling booster cards, which they typically do this time of year. And one of our citizens from the community took a spill in the parking lot of a local grocery store. And these two gentlemen rushed her aid, helped her up, made sure she was okay, picked up her groceries and helped her put them into the car. You know, we oftentimes hear about stuff that kids do that are bad and questionable and raise concern. We seldom get a chance to hear from independent folks about things such as this that happen. And I just wanted to point these two gentlemen out. Again, I don't know their names. That wasn't given in the posting. They had pictures, and I believe it was 5 and 91. I can't swear to that even. But I just want to thank them personally. I'd like to thank them personally, face to face. But well done. That's what this is about. How do we spread that? I oftentimes talk about how do we get the character focus back. Clearly we're getting it back. It's a hard ship to turn, but kudos to folks that were involved with these young men. That's what it's about. I like to see our sports teams and bands and other clubs win awards. I love that, right? I like to win. This is winning. That was winning. That was truly winning. And so I just want to thank them publicly. Again, I feel bad about not doing more research in that time today. I wanted to get their names, but I appreciate it. And I want to thank them. So well done with that.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Welcome, David. You got a tough road ahead of you, but I'm sure you'll do great things. Welcome very much, and same thing. I know you got a tough road, but I know you'll do great things as well. Look forward to having you both here on our team. I want to say thank you to everyone that came tonight. Gives your time, puts our children first. That's not going unnoticed. Thank you very much.
So just a couple things, and I'll be.
I'm sorry. Also, Mr. Eggleston, thank you very much for coming to speak tonight. We always appreciate everything you do for the kids, and your passion is very noticeable, and we thank you. Oh, you're fine.
So just a couple things. whenever we replace the JRTC units, can we package this room in with as well? That leads me to, quite a bit of conversation about, I mentioned the roof earlier, capital projects, a lot of conversation in the community about this opportunity that's in front of us with the sales tax, right? So if you go back and look, there was a legacy project that was carried over as the track at Allegheny. 5 years goes by, and we're getting our next capital project funded. It's out of year-end funds that the school division returned back to the local governments out of the operations budget. Talk about massive expenditures. I'm not talking about 5-figure HVAC replacements, but those are the types of things in our facilities that even our newest building, we were talking about, this building, Mountain View, Clifton Academy, they're not new, and the infrastructure in those buildings is reaching the end of its useful life. It needs to be replaced, and that's the value that this sales tax opportunity has for the community in lieu of having to significantly raise real estate taxes on the people that live here. Now, granted, the people that live here are going to have to pay a portion of the additional sales tax, and nobody likes to be taxed, but nobody likes to be taxed and not know where their money's going, even more so in this particular instance. You know exactly where that's going, and it's going back in the infrastructure. It's critical to the community, to the children, to the families, to economic development, to growth. People come and look at your community, move in, that's your front door, and if it's not taken care of, they're going to the next house, right? So I would just encourage everybody to do their homework, learn what that opportunity has done in the 8 or 9 communities that have had the opportunity to use the sales tax historically. And it's an opportunity for us to move forward. There's a lot of communities around us. Giles is, if you ask me, knowing Giles County, if there's a place in Virginia that's Giles would call its sister, it's Allegheny, and Allegheny would call Giles the same. They're doing this opportunity on the referendum. Pulaski is doing it. There's a lot of communities, and if we don't take advantage of it, it's going to get passed in a lot of communities around the Commonwealth, and they're going to improve their schools, and we'll be further left behind. Just encourage everybody to make their own decisions, review the facts, and educate themselves. Extracurricular, thank you for your point there. A couple meetings ago, I mentioned Grayson County's graduation 5 years in a row. They hit 100% graduation rate. 95+% of the kids in schools participate in some type of extracurricular. So the value and importance of that is critical. I got kicked out of band or choir or music in like 5th grade. The teacher didn't want me in there because I was terrible at it. But extracurriculars are why my mother said I graduated high school, because of the sports aspect of it, right? So it's a very important, that was a motivator for me, and it's a motivator for a lot of people. So hopefully we can come up with some resolution there. And then most everybody in the room, I'm probably sure is aware, we just, we lost Pat Myers last week. She was awesome. I remember sitting in gyms with her, watching her cheer on these kids, and so lost a true community asset there. Anybody got anything? If not, thank you all for coming out. Appreciate the input from folks, and good to see everybody. I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to the Code of Virginia 2.23711A1, personnel matters, discuss their actual potential appointments, assignments, resignations, terminations, salaries, performance, and grievance regarding specific school board employees that need to remain confidential and related superintendent goals. 2.2-3711A2, student matters, discussion, consideration, disciplinary matters that involve disclosure of information about individual students. 2.2-3711A7, legal matters, discussion, briefing by staff members pertaining to threatened agency action, civil litigation. 2.2-3711A8, legal matters, consultation with legal counsel regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel. 2.2-3711A19, discussion of school safety reports where discussion of open meetings could jeopardize safety and security. 2.2-1-254B1, compulsory attendance religious exemption waiver for pupil case 2708, 2709, 2711, 2712, 2713, 2714, and 2.2-124D1 compulsory attendance medical relief exemption for pupil case 27-10. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we go into closed session. Second.
Motion second, Ms. Willis.
Mr. Aaron.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Langford.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan.
Yes.
Mr. Woodson. Mr. Umstead, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
We are in closed.